Yo, can you hear me?
Yo, what's up, man?
What is happening, dude?
Not much. Where you at?
At one of our locations, it's like a weird. Should I? It's like a weird angle.
That's all right. Oh, so it's like the where the players are, or like the coaches' lounge?
It's just not really. It's just an upstairs. We would come here if it rains. I have to clean this. I'm running an L7 tomorrow,
Uh-huh.
so I gotta like clean. This is gonna be the tournament desk.
Wait. Oh, so you're running an L7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, man. Finally, we get to do this. Jeez. We've
One
been
second. I'm trying to find
we've
the
been
bug.
planning this for what, like 2 years now?
I don't know, dude. 2 years is. I mean, was it
Yeah,
2 years?
yeah. Easter Bowl. Remember? We talked about it 2 years ago. At Easter Bowl,
Oh my God, it's been 2 years.
2023.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, man. Well, so Sukhwa is not a guest. He's gonna be my co-host actually, and we're gonna have some guests later on. I don't know if Daniel Yu is gonna be able to join us as a co-host, but we'll bring him on as well. But
Oh, for sure.
yeah, but this is Sukhwa Young. For people who don't know Sukhwa, he has been a legendary junior player while I was playing a junior. He was actually way better than me in the juniors, and I think here's some of his recognitions. So he has 13 USTA balls, right? Like gold ball,
Yeah.
silver ball, bronze balls, like all combined,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
singles and doubles combined as well, right?
Yeah.
And he was ranked number one in U.S. juniors. Is that 12s, 14s, 16s, and 18s, all
Well,
ages,
there
or?
was no 12s back when we were playing.
Uh
So
huh.
it was just 14s, 16s, and I started the first year 18s as a number one.
Okay. All right. And you won Easter Bowl, clay courts, and hard courts.
Yeah.
My gosh. And as a coach, now you're a coach at in Tampa, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what's the name of the academy that you're in?
It's called Eric Dopsha Tennis.
Mm-hmm.
So my partner is Eric Dopsha, who's also a Florida legend. He went to Florida, won SECs with them, and we partnered up back in 2017 and didn't want to do any high performance.
Oh,
So like,
really?
yeah, yeah. So like, I just had a kid. Eric's like, you know what? We don't want to travel. Let's just do like recreational tennis.
Wow.
And we were like I think like 2 weeks before we opened, we were like sitting down, going through books for like red, orange. We're like, does this make sense? We're like, nah. Like we're trying to like figure out like how to run like recreational tennis because we're just kind of used to like high performance. And yeah, and so we started that, and just because of our resumes just in the area, people started coming in that were like more high performance, and they were like, all right, let's just do this our way, and then
Oh,
started
man,
there.
that's awesome. And you have
Yeah,
over 300 kids now. That,
around there, yeah, yeah,
yeah, geez,
yeah.
that's a lot.
Three
And
facilities.
and the funny thing is, Eric Dopsha is what was one of my coaches actually in the
Yeah,
yeah one of the academies that I went to. It was called
yeah,
Billy Stearns at the time,
yeah.
an academy that was in Sarasota. And yeah, like we had legendary coaches there, like Eric Dopsha, I think Damon, which was
He's
Eric,
right now in Baltimore. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, which is Eric's friend, and
Mhm.
I think teammate in FSU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
UF. Dude, if he heard you say
Ooh,
FSU, bro.
ooh, I might have to clip this one. Okay, and there's another guy, Kerry Konauer, which was another guy. He actually recently passed away. Did you
Yeah.
hear about that?
In the
Yeah,
gym.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Um, but so going back to Sukhwa, you won Bobby Curtis, or your kids won Bobby Curtis, right? Is that like a Eddie Herr almost like kind of thing
No,
for
that's
Florida,
stay
or
closed.
what is it?
Stay
Oh,
closed.
it's stay closed. Okay,
Yeah.
it wasn't called Bobby Curtis when we played, right?
No, it wasn't. No,
Okay,
it was just called stay closed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, and you coached the number one and number two at the same time, who were number one and two in the nationals.
Yeah.
Is it 16s, 18s?
18s.
18s. Okay, and was that like past year, like recent,
Yeah.
or
And recently in the last year. Yeah.
okay? And you coached a kid that went to the finals of the Wimbledon Junior.
Yep.
Made it to the finals of Wimbledon Juniors as a qualifier.
Yeah,
How many matches is that?
dude, it was a lot.
That- oh
It
my
was insane.
god.
Yeah,
Okay, and Kalamazoo, a kid that went to the finals of Kalamazoo and qualified into the U.S. Open. Is that right?
yeah, because if you lose in so if you win 18's Kalamazoo, you get a main draw wild card,
Right,
and if you lose in the finals, you get a wild card to the qualies.
right.
So we ended
Okay.
up getting the wild card to the qualies there.
Yeah, so yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
I think people would be interested to hear our junior years, what we went through, your college years, and pro career, short but
yeah,
short but meaningful
yeah,
uh, pro career for both of us, and then now we're both coaching. Now I'm actually doing more business rather than coaching, and I have my YouTube channel, but you're doing more coaching right now, and Sukhwa is a very successful junior coach right now. So yeah, let's get things started. So I wanted to start with a very interesting topic that you
let's
can
do it.
choose. Okay? And I don't know if they've ever talked about this on shows, but like I want to talk about you could choose, okay? You could choose
All
what
right,
to
let's do it.
begin with. Drug use in tennis, okay? Number 2, suicidal thoughts and mental health for players. Number 3 is the dark side of success and being at the top as a junior. Okay? So you pick.
I mean, that's pretty much the same topic, though.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah, it is. But I mean, one kind of leads into another. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah,
Let's tackle all three because they kind of go in a specific order, right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
so like, oh, we're starting the first episode strong. Oh, I love it. I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
I don't want to begin with like, oh, what we did and how, yeah. But I just wanted to share our experiences that other people never have probably gone through, or if they're
Hmm.
going through the similar things, how it can help them. So
Absolutely.
it's not just for like interesting and fun topic to talk about and just to hear, but I think it'll help a lot of juniors and parents and coaches as well if we talk about these issues that we had and how we overcame them. So
Hmm.
yeah. So how do you want to start? Which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's go in order, right? So I think like what was the third one that you asked?
I think
How did
it goes
how did you
from
word it?
number 3, 2, and then 1. So basically, the dark side of success as a junior, being at the top, and
Uh-huh.
then the second topic was suicidal thoughts and
Hmm.
mental health for players, which I never thought actually mental health was that important, but looking back, it's actually very important.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then number 1 was drug use, so it kind of leads into that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but I'm not saying like drug use as in like recreational drugs, but I'm like performance enhancing and stuff like that. Because I
yeah,
would, because we do talk about tennis a lot, but we don't deep dive into like what you went through and what I went through and my experiences that with drugs and your experiences with drugs and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
um, and yeah, let's start with the dark side of being successful as a top junior.
Let's do it, dude.
I think Sakwa knows more about this than me because I never felt like I was successful. I like even though I was like top 5 in the nation, all like in all
Yeah,
age
yeah.
divisions, like I personally never thought I was very successful because most of the time when I was looking up to like these players that like Itai, Alex Bogomolov, like kids that actually won all the time, like it just felt like the number 1 and 2 were very different level wise
Hmm.
compared to like top 5. So even if you're top 5 player, like the number 1 and 2 are pretty much like at their own level, and like it was like 3, 4, and 5 and 6 or something like that. And
Yeah,
then it's like top 10, and then it's like top 25, and then it's like top 75, and then there's like
yeah, yeah.
tiers to it. So
Oh, 100%, dude.
I never thought I was a very successful junior because um, I never won like a big tournament like you have. My ranking was high, but it was due to because winning those national twos, L2s, lower level than the L1s. So
Hmm.
I want to hear your story as well of what you felt like when you were going through your junior years, especially when you were 12, because you're so dominant in 12s, 14s, and 16s. You barely lost a match a year, like one or two a
Yeah,
year, right?
yeah,
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 let's talk
yeah,
about that. Yeah.
yeah. Well, let's start from the beginning, right? So I grew up in Alaska,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know I was good in tennis.
Mm-hmm.
Like I grew up there. There was only indoors, and at best you could play maybe like 1 hour a day. And when I was like 9 or something like that, everybody was telling me I had to go to California or Florida to just for tennis. And
Mm-hmm.
to this day, I love tennis. I love everything about tennis. I love tennis back then, and I still love it now. And once I came to Florida, like I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, you're telling me I could play all day? I'm like, all right, that's cool. And I'm like, and the first time I played a designated, or like, well, at least the first memory of it, like I was like, okay, it's these Florida kids. They're supposed to be really good, and I just beat everybody.
Yeah.
And I remember,
So to give people some context, designated is more like a L4
L
for.
three, L
Is it
three,
L3? Okay.
yeah, yeah.
L3. Because
So
it's
the
like a
January L three,
Florida term. Like nobody.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's the one they have in Lakeland in January. Like it's that tournament, and
Yeah.
so that was like the first tournament that I kind of remember playing Florida wise. And I don't know anybody. Like I remember like hearing Jason Cordova was like like the guy, and I ended up playing him in the finals, and I just was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, I still have the whole. Let me go play some more. And I remember going back to like continuing the practice.
Did you beat Jason?
Yeah, yeah. So I just destroyed everybody.
Okay.
And then I remember, okay, now the first time I'm playing Easter Bowl, okay, now it's like,
Uh-huh.
this like, oh, now it's the best kids in the whole nation. And
Yeah.
I'm playing a seed first round for California and beat him. And I forgot who I ended up losing to, but I got fifth that tournament, beating Brian Baker in the process. And so I was like, oh, okay, and then once I got into the groove, I think a year later I hit number one in the nation. Like, so the next year I got my experience and I won Easter Bowl.
This
and
is
I
14s,
became,
right? 14s?
yes,
Yeah.
in the 14s.
Yeah.
So once I became number one in the nation, it kind of hit me like the only way I could go is down. You know what I mean? Like, like I'm like, oh, so like it was just a different level of pressure that I had to deal with. And for that year, like I remember like I couldn't eat breakfast. Like I was like, it was just the pressure that I had now of like, it was different from like not getting something that I want, right? Like I'm like chasing. But now that I have it, the fear of like losing something that I have was just a different level of pressure that I had to deal with. So, and you kind of know me, I was a lot more like tactical, more so than anything else.
So I think, to describe you in one word would be like an all-round player that's very tactical.
Yeah, that's not one word, but sure.
Well, yeah, sorry, like very tactical. Sorry, my one sentence. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, dude, I remember like, so that year, that was 1999. And I only had one loss that year, which was in the finals of clay courts against Chris Kwan. And so that entire year, like I couldn't eat breakfast because I was just so nervous, like every day, like for every tournament.
So you were nervous going into your matches?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
because
wow.
because now like the fear of like losing this was just like it was crazy. And there was like a 6-month period during that time to where like if I had a forehand, I couldn't hit a backhand. If I had a backhand, I couldn't hit a forehand.
Oh,
like,
right. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like I'm internally freaking out before like I'm like, what is happening? In practice it's fine, but like in matches it's gone. And so I just kind of learned like how to still win, how to bluff, how to hide, and like it kind of like how to play the points. And so if anything, it just kind of teach me like how to win, like just not feeling the best. And I think what like helped me get over that was I realized, oh, it doesn't really matter how I feel. I just got to worry about the guy across the court. Like if I just beat him, that's all that matters. Like I don't need a forehand to beat this guy, right? So I kind of learned the more tactical side and kind of honed it a little better after that.
Yeah.
But the dark side really happened, and so it was still fun. It's still all fun and games, and like, and then you get a little better, and I start traveling, kind of like more worldwide, and But the main thing was like still that lingering fear of like losing that spot, right? Like I'm like, okay, so this is the 14th.
So you actually felt pressure of losing that spot, like a
Oh
lot.
yeah, big time.
Man, I don't think people understand what that feeling would feel like if you've never been at the top. because like it's different when you're like number one for like a month, which
Hmm.
I've been before, but like it's like, oh, I'm number two again. You know, it just keeps going
Right.
back and forth. It's like you don't really have a fear of losing it, but you actually were so dominant. I felt like you know, from watching outside, we were like, oh, like Sukhwa's gonna win, like you know,
Hmm.
he's gonna win another
Right.
match. Like you would never. It, it's like we believed in your wins more than you probably did.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
because like we already knew like, oh, Sukhwa's gonna be here. Like when we look at this draw, okay, like you know, I'm gonna meet him in quarters or semis or whatever. You know, it's like, yeah, it was like almost like a definite win for you, whoever you play. So like we never doubted you as a player. I guess you had that fear for yourself then, of losing that spot.
Yeah, well, because it became more of an identity.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like it was just falsely so, but it really became more of an identity. And it was later on a coach that kind of helped me out of that.
Who was that
But
coach?
it was Dickie Herbst.
Okay.
So he took he took over Lakewood Ranch, I think, for a while. And like there was one time he asked me, I just won like 16s Easter Bowl now. So now I'm number one in the nation in the 16s at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me like, "Hey, so what do you like to do?" I'm like, "I'm going to do this," and I'm going over like X's and O's, and like this is what plays I work against, these type of people, and
Yeah.
this type of situation I'll do this. I'm going on for like a good 5-10 minutes of like plan A through Z,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he listens to the whole thing, and he's like, "Oh, what if I don't let you?" I'm like, what are you talking about? Everybody lets me, like that's why I never lose, right?
Yeah.
Not like cocky, but just like like
Yeah.
sincerely,
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
barely losing. And he was like, okay, so at the time, like it was still Agassi and Sampras were still pretty dominant. And he's like, okay, well, Agassi's returning. What's he gonna do? And I'm like, oh, he's not gonna let me. And then
Now you realize, oh, okay.
yeah, and he was like, well, do you want to be the best tennis player in the world, or do you want to be the best 14, 16-year-old in the world?
Yeah.
I'm like, ah. And like it was there where it kind of really helped me see like, okay, well, like I'm still kind of in this junior mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I gotta like, like again, like my goal is not to be the best junior player, but like, hey, I want to be a professional, like, trying to compete for the majors and
Yeah.
do the best I can, right? So that's what kind of shifted my mindset a bit and kind of really helped me.
Mm-hmm.
But it still didn't like no like you're kind of talking about mental health. Like still a big part of my identity was being number one. Was like you said, never
Yeah.
losing. Like I knew, like dude, like I'm literally going onto the court
Uh-huh.
with the aura of, hey, I know that you can't beat me.
Yeah.
So like it's that type of like it was
Because
taxing.
because I don't think you're almost like Djokovic, like I should say, which in the juniors, like where you change your game so much based on who you're playing. Like it's tough to gauge or like try to plan something um, before playing you because you change your like you could play like I could watch your match today of playing someone else. So I'm playing you tomorrow, so I watch you play the day before, and you would play completely different the next day, like
Mhm.
according to what I did, like what the
Mhm.
styles I had, or strengths and weaknesses I had. So it was like it was really tough to like actually like because as kids like it's very hard for us to adapt like as a junior because we're still
Mhm.
developing. I feel like
Mhm.
technique wise, your movement wise, you're still developing, so you're still worried about yourself a lot,
Mhm.
like not missing, hitting good shots. But like what you did was like you were so I we or at least all the players that I talked to felt like you were very comfortable on the court in every shot, so like you're more focused on the tactical aspect. Is that right?
Right.
And somebody actually teach you that, or like did you just come up with that yourself?
No, I mean it was kind of inherent, right? So and kind of like I said, like in the 14s when I realized like I just got to beat this guy, and so I started kind of paying attention to everything that you're saying. Like I'll just look at them in between points, and then a lot of the times they're just kind of like body language wise, like screaming at you
Uh-huh.
where they're at mentally, like what they don't like currently, what they feel they're good at, and it was just like I knew what I was good at was I was good at like like hand-eye court. I could take balls on the rise really early, so I
Yeah.
could kind of dictate points and pace really well.
So
I could
annoying.
hit,
You hit so early. It's
yeah,
so
I could
early.
hit my
Like,
spots really
I mean,
well.
I hit early too because there was a thing like back then, like
Uh,
Agassi, like when you're taking the balls on the rise. But the thing is, like, I think you probably were the only player that actually took, or two, one of the two that I know that took the ball on the rise faster than I did, which was you
mhm.
and Robert Im actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. and
Yeah.
both like we're all three Koreans. that's,
Yeah.
that's why. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah. So that gave me the ability to like control how the point's gonna go.
yeah.
And once I did that, like I just kept you. So I mean, it was really simple. Like it was for me, it was I want to do what I want to do
Hmm.
and not let you do what you want to do.
Yeah,
And if I could do that, you can't beat me. So
yeah.
like it
It's
was
such a different mindset. I think it's I think we could talk about that too. Like it's very interesting because we were both at the top. Obviously, you were dominating at our level, but the thing is, like I was thinking very differently, and I was still at that top level.
mhm.
So, it's it's such a different way of thinking. I think.
But
Um,
that's kind of what all led to this like dark side that you're talking about,
mhm.
right? So, you know, and as I was, because like every year I was like that way of thinking was successful. No one's telling me I'm doing anything, really wrong. And, like at the time there wasn't that guidance
See
of
that?
like,
Yeah, that's the dark side also. Like no one could
right.
tell you like what to do, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
So like I'm figuring it out. And again, like I'm doing okay. Like like, hey, I'm getting wild cards to futures when I'm like 16. Like I remember getting like a wild card to the Tallahassee Challenger when I was 15 or 16. Got destroyed. I drove there, drove right back.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm starting to, I'm getting invitations to go play ITFs. Like I think I was 15, 16, like going around the world playing the ITFs with the USTA. Um, and from there, it's like, oh, okay, like even against the worldwide kids, like, like it's like, hey, I'm pretty close.
Yeah,
Like, like
like
I'm
you played Monfils, Gasquet, you beat all of them, right?
no, I mean no, I lost to Monfils in the French.
Okay.
I had one arm. But
Oh,
like,
you
I
so
mean,
you
yeah,
had an
I
injury.
beat British though. Like I played. So I mean, I played against the best guys in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So and I could kind of see what I could gauge. Like and that kind of helped my game. I'm like, okay, well, when I'm playing Nadal, like I can't outgrind Nadal from the back. Like Monfils could just get everything. I played Songa, like the power game from that.
Yeah.
Like Baghdadis just when he decides to just turn it on, so like I'm kind of seeing like the best in the world now, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so like that's kind of helping me develop my game. That's all the good side, which is all the natural side.
Yeah.
But the dark side really happened to where, like, again, like I want to be number one. That means, to me, the mindset was that means everybody is against me.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
can't open up because again, like my game was to like piece you apart mentally.
Yeah.
I can't be vulnerable because if I'm vulnerable, they're going to do that to me.
And that kind of that kind of went not it wasn't just on the court. I think you were acting the way you were off the court as well.
100%.
Preparing yourself to play them in the match, right? Like even
100%.
when we're like even when we're playing cards or like when we're just like
Yeah.
resting, like going around having fun, you are still at that state where you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm still gonna f you up like when we get on the court. Like it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just
Yeah. No,
yeah,
exactly. Like, because that was my life. Like, like I was a tennis player. That was number one. Nothing else mattered, and like I'm so used to winning, like you said. So results was such a big thing to me. Like, like, I mean, yes, we have Asian parents, but even more so to me because like my identity was tied into that.
yeah, yeah,
And because of that, I couldn't, dude, I'm a kid. You know what I mean? Like I'm a
yeah.
kid with essentially no friends. Like I can't have relationships, whether it's a boyfriend or girlfriend
That's
or
that's
even
so
friends.
interesting because like we have like I had no friends either.
Hmm.
But I felt like you always had friends though. Like you
It wasn't real. You know what I mean?
oh,
Like
okay.
it was all like everything was, to me, was like the mindset. It was really selfish and self-absorbed and self-centered, and nothing was genuine. It
Yeah.
was it was all calculated because like I didn't want to give anybody an edge. I didn't want to show my cards to anybody
Hmm.
because, like, again, like if I would have seen your cards, I would have used them against you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
if I'm thinking like that, I'm gonna assume that you're gonna think like that. And it was just
Oh.
a really messed up way, like even in practice, like, dude, like, the culture in practice was a lot different now than what it was before. Like even with the coaching, from like, I mean, the things that we talked about, like that
Hmm.
the coaches could get away with, like,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
we can't get away with now. So like
Yeah.
everything was a lot more toxic than it was now.
Mm.
But even so, in my head as a kid, and that's, I think, what kind of led into that darkness of
Oh,
like,
so I guess, man, just going back and bringing back memories, like, so you're feeling lonely, not lonely, but like you were
no,
still
no,
like alone,
100% lonely.
and like, but like you weren't physically alone because you were always
Correct.
around friends. Like for
Correct.
me, I was always physically alone,
Mm.
and that also it's it's similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hundred
it's
percent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
So, um, yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about, but go ahead, like yeah, go ahead with your
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
No, and then like, and then even while going to satellites and features, and there was no cell phones, we're booking our own flights. We're trying to find the cheapest hotel rooms. Like there's,
Hmm.
like we just kind of browsing, kind of doing your own thing. Like, and like the loneliness is real. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, and after a while, in the beginning, it's cool. Right in the beginning, it's fun because we're going to new places. I get to play tennis against the best guys in the world. I get
yeah,
to go to these clubs and
yeah.
do all that. But like, hey, like once I did that, like the third time you go to Paris, you know what I mean? The
The excitement goes down
yeah,
significantly.
it's not the same anymore.
Yes. Oh, Eiffel Tower. I've seen it. Yeah.
Right, right. And it not only just feels like a job. I mean, I'm not even getting paid for it, right?
Of
So,
course.
but it feels like, like, is this it? Like, is this, like, I mean, I could see the finish line. I'm like, like, these are the best. Like, I've been to the best venues in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I've seen all this. Like, now, is this really worth it? Like, I can't have a genuine, and I couldn't put my finger on it at the time. I was too young.
Hmm.
But like, the passion at that time was slowly getting chipped away.
Mm.
And
Because of like what for what reason? I know you just said it, but like what was the biggest reason? Like
because the joy was getting dissipated.
okay, the excitement was dying down.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So like, because like when I moved to Florida, I love, dude, like you telling me I could play all day. That's all I cared
Yeah,
about.
we
I love
both
tennis.
played so many hours. Like I played 10 hours a day one sometimes. But I
Yeah.
think it's so different. Like again, like we both probably played like that many hours, but you
Mm-hmm.
played for the love of the game. I was
Mm-hmm.
forced to. So,
Yeah.
so but it's I mean, you get good if you put the hours in. So,
Yeah. Hundred
yeah.
percent.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was forced to sometimes as well, but
Oh
overall, I
yeah,
just enjoy it.
but not as
Right.
much as me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I never loved tennis the way you did, I think. Um, I always felt like it was my almost like even when I was younger. I guess we all have like some kind of maturity or like a state of mind where we're thinking at a mature level. And for me, I think that was like to thinking that I was mature, like, oh, I wanna. This is my destiny. This is
Mm-hmm.
my thing that I have to do. It's my job. So I took it more like on a job. Like it wasn't like for the love of it. It was
Mm-hmm.
for like, oh, I have to do this. This is who I
Mm-hmm.
am. Like the identity, because
Yeah.
my parents came to the States, for my tennis. So, like it was for me. I always had that pressure, not of being number one, but trying to get to number one all the time
Mm-hmm.
because my parents sacrificed so much for me,
Yeah.
even and I think if I had the love of the game like you had, like I think I would have thought differently. I wouldn't have thought it was like, oh, they sacrificed for me,
Mm-hmm.
because like this is what I do, this is what I love, like you have to do this for me, like I didn't really think that way. I don't know if you did, but that's not how I was thinking.
No. No. I mean, I was too self-absorbed to think about any
But
of
I started realizing something recently, but we don't have to talk about it now. But you do need to somewhat be like self-absorbed in order for you to be a good performer.
yeah.
Like I feel like for the performance aspect, you need to
Yes.
be self-absorbed, and everything has to revolve around you. And the thing is, like that's also why like athletes have so much trouble like going, transitioning over to the real world because like
Mm-hmm.
after their career is over, if they haven't really done much, like it's really hard to like be in a society where you're not the shit, like you're
Mm-hmm.
not the only one. You're actually part of the society.
I agree and disagree.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Like, I think the better term would be obsessed.
Obsessed.
Obsessed
Okay.
rather than self-absorbed, because it could kind of have the same feel to it, right? Like, because I think if you
Oh
manage it,
no, I
like,
think it's completely different. If you're obsessed about something, I think it's a little
uh
different. But if you're obsessed about yourself, is that or you're saying, or obsessed about
so, so
tennis?
so like, because I think self-absorbed mean like I'm gonna like, you know like, even if it brings harm to someone else, I will be okay with it. Like,
Uh,
that's how I define self-absorbed
Self,
versus
right,
if
right,
I'm
right.
obsessed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
You're
So
right.
I don't think that's good because, because now are you are essentially practicing sacrificing certain values or morals to achieve a desired result.
Yes.
You know, however, it is in my opinion that result is an uncontrollable. So we're actually practicing a habit to focus on an uncontrollable.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if we're obsessed, we could have the exact same actions as we would that's self-absorbed, but we could, but it won't bring, like, we could understand and choose, hey, like this action may bring harm to somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose not to, although I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to find a different route. Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of agree and disagree. I think you need to be like in it, like and you got to like try to absorb everything.
Yeah.
But I think if you're too hyper focused, or if a coach, and I think that's why I'm coaching now, is like I made so many mistakes as I'm going to tell you guys, but like I get to see where those points are, and then kind of guide, like, hey, okay, we're going a little too far this way. Let's reel it back in.
Yeah.
Or you know what, we're actually a little too kind almost.
Yeah.
And we got to kind of go back here.
Exactly.
And I think there is a balancing act that needs to be done, which has never been done for me. So that's why I want to.
100%. And the thing is, I completely agree with you. And I always write a lot of notes down, even when I was a player, and transitioning into a coach, it really helped me a lot. But one day I was thinking about what is coaching, and I told myself in the notes, like, coaching is a balancing act. So if you're far too extreme here, you need to bring that player to the other end of the spectrum.
Right.
So basically, it's not what's better, or there's just one way to go. There's always that spectrum, and you have to keep guiding them so they don't go into one extreme. So
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah. So kind of going back to that whole idea. So now I didn't even know I was even. I wouldn't say I was depressed at the time, but like I was kind of getting into that feel, like everything's kind of getting repetitive. The purpose is starting to lack. I'm kind of starting to lose the joy. And, now I'm kind of like older, maybe 16, 17 at this point.
Yeah.
And, drinking.
That's the time when I felt like you were losing grasp of it. Like, yeah. I'm just being honest. Like,
no, exactly.
Like from the outside view, like we could kind of see that you're losing the grasp of it, and we didn't know what it was. We didn't know if it was your level or the way you were playing, the style. And the thing is, like, we're getting stronger too. Like I was getting strong. So like I could overpower like a lot of the junior players. I couldn't overpower like the pro players that I was playing. Yeah. But some of the guys that I was like equally leveled, I was way more powerful in my shots than most of the other players. So
so perfect. No, it coincides perfectly, because like around that time, that's when I started to drink a little, do a little weed, and and what it wasn't really for partying. To be fair, it was I'm trying it out.
Oh, so right? You're just like, this is more like a relief.
It wasn't even a relief. Like it allowed me to be vulnerable with other guys that are also getting drunk or high.
Okay.
Right. So it was the first time I could like just be myself, or the illusion of it.
Okay.
Right. So like I could
what do you mean? How do you define be yourself?
So regularly I'll just everything, like I always had a mask on. Like I'm never gonna show you my true colors. Okay. I'm always gonna like just everything's calculated. Yeah. Whatever I show you is on purpose.
Alcohol does do that. It lets you go.
Yeah. So and then everybody was okay with it. Like I'm acting a fool. Like like I mean, and then so and then I realized, alcohol and weed's not that bad. And that means that means Coke's not gonna be that bad.
Because it's like at that age, it's like, oh, it's this is drug too, and this is drug too.
Yeah,
so it's like all
it's like dude, I grew up with the whole like say no to drugs are bad and blah blah blah, and and I'm an athlete, so like I stayed away from it.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh wait, that's not that bad. Oh, by the way, I'm still winning. And so, right? I'm like, oh okay, like I'm like,
oh, it's so funny. Like I wonder, like, as a kid, what your mind went through when you were doing drugs and stuff like that, and you're still winning. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys really suck. You know?
No.
No?
It wasn't that at all. It was like
That's funny.
I'm always gonna do this.
What do you
Like
mean?
this is the best ever because like I
Oh,
could like be
no, but
open.
like if you're winning, even when you're at like doing that,
Uh huh.
like,
It wasn't no. See, like so this is when I started like no. So I didn't think that for this reason because like again like I was kind of lacking human connection
okay,
essentially my whole life, you know,
okay.
and this is the one thing that allowed me to connect with someone, or at
Oh,
least I had the illusion of it.
okay.
So this is now starting to like overpower my love for tennis, you know,
Mm,
and like so like at a certain point I'm like okay well I gotta like I didn't know which one to choose, so like now it's a balancing act of how do I keep up. It's a double life, like I'm gonna train like a professional tennis player and then go over here and do all these things, you know, like that are bad,
mm-hmm.
you know. And then I started again. I started traveling the Futures Tour and the Satellite Tour, and I now found also guys that thought the same way,
Oh,
like in
okay.
that tour,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, dude, like I played doubles. I'm not gonna say where or when, but like it was a foreign country. We were there for 4 weeks, and I found we went to this illegal casino first week,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I found out that I befriended like the dealers there. We went out, and then we figured out they could like cheat,
Yeah.
you know. And they're like, hey, like, can you just
I
give
know
us a couple?
exactly what I know exactly where it is.
Yeah.
We've talked about it so many times.
Oh, dude, you know. And then so like we're going to the casino every night. We're tanking singles, and we're justifying being doubles. You know, like we're getting to like the finals of the futures and doubles. So like you know, like we're literally partying until who knows how long, waking up at like 1 or 2, if sleeping at all. I ended up like hitting the jackpot at that casino. I mean, we're up a lot of money. So now, so we got to spend it, you know. So we spend it on a bunch of shenanigans, and that was just the life. It was now like it wasn't just about tennis. It was like, hey, like let's go to these other countries and try to like find like the most like the best party atmosphere as well as the tennis atmosphere, and try to now again like trying to kind of mix the two.
So you're basically doing both at the highest level. Trying to at least.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or, you know, or like mentally at the time, right?
Yeah.
It was just like, let's go extreme this way,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
go extreme this way, and
So
figure it
you
out.
work hard and party hard. I think it's like both,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and then and in that time, like, so I think like a year later, and this is I think where the, you know, the other side starts happening.
Okay.
Is like, I remember having a friend, and you know, like we were messed up, and he said, hey, like no matter where I am in my life, I hope I always have you with me, you know, just as a friend. And that meant more to me than winning any tennis tournament.
Really?
Yeah, so that's where mentally I was essentially.
So
going.
you really needed that human connection, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I started like visualizing. I was like, okay, so let's say I'm top 20 in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and like because I've been to all these places, I, you know, like I'm training with the pros, bro. Like, you know, I'm hitting with James Blake, Marty Fish, like, you know, Paul.
Yeah.
Like I know what the level's like, and I'm on track. Like I'm not like that far off of like at least like giving it a shot.
Yeah.
Right. But so like I'm visualizing what it would be like being top 20, playing all these tournaments and training and yada yada yada, and even just the thought of that no longer made me happy. You know, and I didn't want to give up yet. Right. So my dream that I've been dreaming since I was 3 years old, like even if I attained that dream, just the thought of it no longer made me happy.
Okay.
So, you know, I still didn't want to let go of my identity as a tennis player. And that's where the real depression started kicking in. Because like now, dude, I can't play tennis to save my life at this point. You know, like I don't even care if I won or lost. And,
Really?
you know, like I'm literally, dude,
okay.
my last year 18s, I am literally playing tournaments and then thinking, who's a good guy to lose to? You know, like I'll be looking at the draw and I'm like, you know, and there was like literally one time where I forget what tournament it was, but like I'm playing like the previous year's like number one in the nation 16s, right? So I'm like, oh, you know, this guy, like, it would be a great guy to lose to. And then he kind of like started acting like an asshole. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, you know, I'm like, dude, if you would have just you would have won if you would have just shut the fuck up. Like, now I got to beat you. You know,
He
so
provoked you.
Yeah, like so I still had the game, but just the desire to compete was like just no longer that. You know, and That was, to be honest, the main reason I went to college was just to take a break from party. I went to college, bro, to
Dude.
take a break from party.
Okay. Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yes, exactly, exactly. You know, and during this time, I was having injuries and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
But so, but just mentally, I was fried. There was no, like you said, like there was no talks of mental health
So
even,
it wasn't really your level that went down. I feel like just talking to you, I just feel like you kind of decided that, you didn't have to win anymore. Like,
yeah, yeah,
that's basically it. Like, it wasn't like your level that went down.
yeah.
Wow.
Like I'll give you an example. Like Greg Olet, right?
Yeah.
I was playing the finals. I'm not going to bring up any names, but like I was playing the finals of.
Come on, let's bring up the names.
No, the Greg Olet is a good example of like he was good. So in February there's this national open.
Yeah.
And I lost in the finals, and mentally I was like, it's okay to lose,
Yeah.
and it's a guy that I would never lose to.
Greg, Greg, like we're okay friends. I know him, but like he was nowhere near like the level that we were at.
So
To
I
be
lost
honest.
to a guy that Greg would destroy.
Yeah.
Right. And then literally the next week I played Greg in the futures, and I beat him. And then after the match, it's like, how did you lose to this guy? Because he had so I could still I still have the level. I just kind of picked and choose when I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it was,
I think I remember that. I now that we talked about it, I remember that because like when you lose to someone like Greg, like it goes around. And then we've been talking, and then the next week or something, like you beat him, and it's like, what the heck? Like, so his level didn't go down. So like that's what we're talking about,
Yeah. So like because I didn't care at that point.
Yeah.
Because I was out now like kind of battling. Do I want to pursue tennis or not? And it was kind of internal. And again, there was no like I didn't even know there was even outside help for it.
Let me ask you this then. Do you think there's a possibility if you met the right coach or the right person, you could have stayed on?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and that's hindsight, right?
Like, I know, but but I think I'm just trying to. Where I'm going with that is like, I think 16 through 18 or even 19 is a very, very important years for turning into pro, like junior to pro. And I feel like you need to meet the right person, the right mentor and a coach to guide you, like on whatever you need, like mental guidance, physical guidance or technique guidance or whatever it is, strategical.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you really need to find a good coach that really, know you as a player. Correct. And is able to guide you from being a junior player to an actual pro player, mature pro player. Not just mentally, but on how you play as well.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, and I feel like, to be honest, there's not a lot of great coaches that can do that in the world, I think. And I think a lot of parents have trouble finding that person, that coach for their kids. So, in some ways it's like luck, because you could only do so much as a parent. Like you can't go around like all the nation, like they if they haven't played tennis, they don't know who to talk to. They don't know which who's good or who's bad, or it's really tough. But I really feel like these days I'm really thinking about I guess my goal as a coach, and I guess for me, what I want to do is I want to be really great at turning juniors into pro players. That's basically what I love to do, actually. So like it's very important that you meet someone to guide them, because at that age, 16 through 18, 19 is when you start developing the metacognition, and like you start thinking about your thoughts of what you are and where you're going and why you're being like a human being, or why you're here on earth, and then you start questioning everything. But the having an Asian culture, or like being in the Asian culture, you're never allowed to question things. Even on
Right.
a tennis court, I don't care if you're in in the States or in Korea. Even in the States, like, you're not allowed to really question your coaches. Like, you
Mhm.
can't say like, oh, why does that work that way? Y- you know
Well, I remember when I was like, this is a sidebar, but like like I remember I was young. I forget what it was, and I was playing a coach, and like I was losing to him, so I got emotional. And if you see me in tournaments, I never like yelled, or you know what I mean. Like I stayed
yeah, yeah,
quiet.
you stay
Right?
super
Yeah, yeah,
calm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, that was on purpose. But in practice, I was like all over the place.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So this coach was like, I thought it was a close call, so like he called it out, and I'm like calling him like a cheater, or like he's hooking me or something.
Yeah.
And then my dad hears it, brings me off the court, kicks my ass, and then goes like, "Go apologize to your coach." Like you said, like you don't question coaches, like
Yeah, yeah.
like the whole Asian culture, like but like those little things I actually appreciated. But there was just a sidebar of like, yeah, the Asian culture of
Yeah,
like, you don't ask questions,
you
and
don't
like
ask
the
questions.
authorities are, yeah.
Yeah, especially like your elders, coaches, your parents. You just don't question. Like, they consider it talking back.
Mhm.
So, you know, being a rebel. So, like, and it's not like, it's just like sincerely asking what's going on. Why do I have to do this? Why
Mhm.
why does certain things work this way? Like, you're just questioning things. But I feel like that's the time when you really need a coach, where you feel like you're connecting with the coach and they can actually explain to you what's going on and where
Yeah.
you should be going. Like, they don't really have to explain what's going on, but they need to guide you a certain way.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
and I feel like a lot of kids that has the talent, has the discipline, kind of goes off. Their level goes down because of that. Like, because it's not their level, or it's not that they don't have it, but they lack the guidance on where to go. I feel like,
Hmm.
yeah. So
And sometimes, dude, like even with all that, like you still have to. I think at that age, you got to overcome your own demons,
yeah, no, but
and
I
that's
mean, I think we're all. I don't know if you are, but like, I'm still overcoming my own demons now. You know, I think it happens at all ages. But like, but I think I'm at a more mature level or state of mind now than when I was at, when I was 16 or 18,
hmm.
where I only know tennis is my only thing. Like, it's my
Yeah.
life. Like, if that fails, like, I no longer belong on this earth, you know?
Right. Right.
That's
No.
how you
And
feel, though. And that
100%.
and talking about that kind of leads into the suicidal thoughts, because like,
Ex-
it
exactly.
makes me feel worthless if I'm trying to do my best, and I'm at my best, and if I'm not performing, I performed last week, but I can't perform this week. You never know where it's gonna go, and if you feel like you're not performing, and there's no future, like, you feel like, oh, like, I'm not worth being here. Like,
Right.
I'm not. Um, it doesn't matter to me anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it, but like, it just, like, nothing matters to you than winning and playing tennis at the highest level, and you just feel like you feel worthless, and then you go into that spiral, the dark spiral that takes you to that dark place.
Hmm.
And I've gone to that place several times in the junior year, more in the junior year than when I was actually trying to turn pro. um, so, oh yeah, actually, like, when I was trying to turn pro, I also was in that state. But the thing is, like, even when you're like, when you're younger than 18, when I was like at what, like 17, like, I was at that state. And there's so many times where, like, I actually wanted to kill myself. I just couldn't
What,
do it
what what
because
got you what got you through it, or what got you out of it?
you know what? Like, I always think about this, is because I it I didn't overcome it. I didn't overcome it. I was just a scaredy cat. Like, it was just the fear of dying.
Nice. Nice.
And I was like, I was more fearful of dying and just like living it through, you know?
Uh-huh.
So, you know how you say, like, if you're in hell, just keep going, because
Yeah.
yeah, you got to go through it. You can't just sit down, right? So, like, it was just a fear of dying. Like, oh, I didn't want to die. So I was like, okay, I still have to go through it, I guess. Just so I was like, you know, just having that fear was actually what got me through. It wasn't like, oh, like, it wasn't something like radical change that happened, like, oh, I gotta keep going, It was just like, oh, like, I still don't want to die, So, um, and just just this is how scared I was. Like, not only fearful of death, but like I was fear of failing to die also mattered. Also, I don't know. I
Oh, it's
I
so
think
fun.
it's funny now that we talk about it, but like like one time I lost 13 times in a row in the first
Oh,
round in the
oh,
main draw in the futures after qualifying so many times, beating like seeded players like three
oh,
or
oh,
four pro
yeah.
players, and then going into the main draw and losing first round. I did that 13 times, and I think it was like at 6 or 7 or something like that. My dad and I were driving to the future or the first round, and then I lost, and it was a long drive back. It was like a 3 or 4 hour drive back, and like my dad is pissed. We're like in the car, like I'm acting like I'm sleeping, but like in my mind, all I could think is like, okay, should I just? It was like a two-way road. It's a very narrow road, so one going this way and one coming this way, and like if I just turn the handle, everything would be over. Like you
Hmm.
don't have to suffer. I don't have to suffer. But I'll be like, okay, but what if I survive? Like that would suck. I would be like crippled the rest of my life, and I still have to live. Like I was like thinking like that. It was like the fear of failing to die, also. So it
Yeah.
was it was kind of funny, but a lot of times like the drive back home after a loss, like a big loss, is so hard. It's so hard.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so hard. And I okay. Oh, this is another question. I have okay. Hold on 1 second. Um, so at the end, I'm gonna ask you like, which is worse? Like the question, like, but we'll get to that later on. But let's keep going. Yeah. So this the suicidal thoughts always came to my mind, but I overcame, not overcame, but like I just went through it, and things got better. Just that's just life, right?
Hmm.
But when you're younger, you just don't know. Like you just feel like tennis is everything.
Yeah.
Um, um, but and then like one time, just something happened, and I just worked super hard. Where I was like, okay, this is my last chance. After this, I'm probably gonna quit if I don't make it. And then I worked super hard. On my fitness actually, and then I was able to break through, and I turned pro after that. Like I got my pro points. It was really like just lack of working hard actually. Like just because you're on the court for like hours doesn't mean you're really working hard, because
Uh huh.
day in and day out, every day is almost the same. So like you're just kind of going through the motion instead of like
Yeah. Yeah.
really
Yeah.
working on
Yeah. Yeah.
moving, yeah, as fast as you can, and just pushing your limits every day. But like sometimes you just go through the motion, and oh, like everything's feeling fine, and okay, that's it. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, dude. I mean, but I mean, I could relate to everything that you're saying. Like, I mean, to me, like you said, like I think the feeling of like, currently I'm somebody,
yeah.
and then I'm gonna be a nobody. And
Oh
in
yeah.
my case, it wasn't just a nobody. It was just like, hey, I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna either be a somebody, that's trying to conquer the world in something,
Yeah.
versus a junkie. You know what I mean? Like, it's talk about an extreme,
Yeah.
And so like, like mine lasted a little bit more, than childhood, because like once I did quit tennis, and there were multiple injuries, but essentially it was just a lack of love for the game. Now, I always loved tennis, but the like it just got tainted. The whole competitive aspect to me
Mm-hmm.
is no longer appealed to me. So like I'm just this nobody now that has no skill except for tennis. That's and I'm just kind of bullshitting my way through life. So it was just like, all right, well then what do I do here, right? Like I'm like, is this even worth it? Uh, and what really helped me was just changing my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It was because like everything up until that point in my life was about me.
Mm-hmm.
like self-absorbed, like opportunities from parents. Like you said, now I'm thinking about the parent sacrifice,
Mm-hmm.
even the academy that I was at giving me a scholarship
Yeah.
to train there.
Yeah.
Like even the college I went to giving me a scholarship to give me an opportunity there. And but it was all about me, and it was all about like how I could like benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I switched it. I'm like, okay, it's no longer my time. So I made it about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So now it's about like it's no longer about me. I'm going to make life about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how could I be of service? And so then it doesn't matter if you are somebody or nobody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it no longer matters.
Right.
Yeah, what my accolades are, because like my purpose is just to help you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm a coach, is like, hey, I know the pitfalls and the steps that I took to get to where I went mentally, and so like here's the way that I could like help prevent that and kind of help you enjoy the whole process, enjoy the whole journey,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding like, hey, like if someone would have done this for me, I'm going to do that for you.
Yeah.
Like whether you get successful or not my concern.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm going to try my best to help you become the best person you could be.
Mm-hmm.
And in that process, if you're going to become the fifth best player in your high school team or the number one in the world, doesn't matter to me, and so I'm still going to give my best. Like, dude, like, I mean, I coach everyone who's in a middle school team and, like in a local middle school team to, like, number one in the nation. You know what I mean? So like, just because I'm coaching this middle school girl doesn't mean I'm going to give it less effort or attention as I would. Right. So it's the same idea. So now everything is more fun and purposeful again, because it's not about me. And I no longer have those, like ever since I made that decision, those thoughts never appeared again.
And what age or what point of time did that happen? Like, did that shift happen?
Late 20s, bro. It took a minute.
For me, the reason why I enjoy coaching is because inside I've been taught a certain way, but inside I really love helping people. Like I really do. And that's why I love coaching, is because I can guide someone to become better at something that I'm good at, which I'm good at, and I could help them achieve their goals or their potential. It doesn't matter, like you said, like if it's like the high school level is the best you could play, but it's still playing to the full potential of themselves. That's all that matters, really. So for me, like just I really love helping people, and I think when I was actually playing and competing when I was younger and in the pro level, just the thought of like beating someone was almost forced onto me because like I'm not that kind of a person, but like because I trained so hard, there's so much on the line, I had to win. And like not like it's not just the training, but the family sacrifices and all that. Like it was just I had to do it. I had to win. But like when I stopped playing because my knee pain just didn't go away, I would get to the finals or win the tournament, and I have to take like a month break just for my knee to recover, which means like I mean your level's there, but the thing is like I can't play consistently, so my ranking's never gonna go up. So I just said like okay, I think that's it, and then I started doing hitting partners, and I because I don't want to be rude, when I was playing with like all these players like pros and juniors, they're how their parents are like on them all the time and like trying to coach, and they don't even know anything about tennis, but I didn't want to step in and be rude, so I just didn't say anything, right? Because I knew how my dad was or my parents were, so I didn't want to step in and say like, hey, you're doing something wrong here, and step out of the line. And but one day, a girls, she was just about to turn pro. Her dad was so angry. He was like arguing with the player, and he just said like, oh Sky, what do you think? Let me hear your thoughts. And I was explaining what he wanted with the player and why the player couldn't understand the dad, and I was kind of bridging the gap. And they're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. You should keep coaching her. So that's how kind of the coaching career started.
Yeah.
And then in that area, I started coaching more kids, and basically all I was doing was bridging the gap of what the parents wanted to what the players needed to understand. You know, they're just trying to understand each other.
Yeah.
So, um, and then it's a different feeling than competing because like it just feels so good. Like it just because you've helped someone. And
And that's really, well, also that's really interesting because I'm assuming those people that you work with, were they mostly Asian?
no, they weren't.
Really?
They weren't.
Dude, gotcha. Because like, dude, I rarely have to actually do that with parents. Like
Mm.
they just almost full trust. It's like, here you go. You know, it's almost too much to the point where like, hey, like you might need to be a little bit more involved and help, like,
Yeah, yeah,
stay, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so it's like I typically get the other spectrum of, I mean, once in a while I'll have like the parent that's like kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like 90% is the other way of like,
Uh-huh.
here you go. So that's why I just assumed that there were just Asian parents that you had to
No,
bridge
no,
that
no. It
gap
wasn't.
because,
It wasn't.
dude, I rarely have to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's what I'm really good at.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm very good at bridging people, like
Mm.
especially parents and player,
Mm-hmm.
and even coaches and player too. Because what a lot of the lessons that I do sometimes is like, even in Korea, like they don't, the parents or the player doesn't let their coach know, their own coach, like their private coach or the team coach know that they're coming to me for a private lesson
Uh-huh.
because it's rude. Like sometimes like
Right.
if they find out, it's like, oh, where are you going? Like they
Uh-huh.
get so protective,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I'm not like that. I'm not trying to take someone away. So like
Right.
I do the lesson and I try to bridge the gap of what the coach wants, your coach wants, and
Yeah.
what you actually want too. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what he's trying to say or she's trying to say, and this is how you incorporate it into your game. That's what I do best actually. So,
Gotcha.
um, but if they give me the full trust, that's great too. But the thing is,
Uh-huh.
I think in order for me to ask the parents the full trust and the responsibility, I need an academy. I can't do it
That's true.
without the academy
Yeah, 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 yeah,
because
yeah.
the environment makes the kid too. Like it can't
Yeah.
be just like one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
Because that's also why like I only do one-on-ones because like I send all the kids to like different academies, but
Mm-hmm.
if they need help they just kind of come to me and help them break through or
Mm-hmm.
help them stay on course or something like that. But like I don't have an academy environment for them right now to have that
Mm-hmm.
mindset, so I can't provide that. So I just do one-on-ones, and I could do both. It's just that here in LA, it's tough to do with
Yeah.
limited amount of
Well,
courts.
that and,
So.
you got other things going on as
Right,
well.
right,
So
right. Yeah,
like,
that too.
hey, like this, I mean, as you know, like dude, running an academy, it's not just on the court, but I mean, just in this Zoom call alone, I missed 3, 4 calls from players playing tournaments right now.
Yeah,
So that, like they'll either call me before, during, or after, let me know what's happening, what they're doing.
yeah,
Like so, even off the court, it's constant. It's
yeah, yeah.
because that connection and that relationship, and making
Exactly,
sure.
and
Yeah.
players need and parents also need that connection also because it they need to be able to trust someone because there's they need the
Yeah.
guidance. They need the guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And kind of like you said, like it's tough to also find people that there's a lot of, I think a lot of coaches that care, but the other part is like it's the experience. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like we've gone through everything that your kid is going through.
Yeah.
And we know the ups and downs of it. So like I think just that experience factor. It's tough to find people that have that and care
Yeah.
and is willing to share that.
Yeah. And one time I had this kid, she was really good. She was number one in a certain region, um, under 12s, and she was going through what you were going through because she was number one. She was very dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the reason why they took me on as a coach is because her level was going down and other kids were catching up.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to stay at the top, or she wanted to stay at the top. But the thing is, the parents were more dominant, and they were more forceful and pressuring her. They didn't know, the parents didn't know that they were pressuring the girl,
Mm-hmm.
but the girl was, when she was with me, she was always complaining, like she was always crying, and she feels really miserable, depressed, and everything. And at 12 she was having suicidal thoughts, which I
Oh,
was too, like at 12. And I was like, okay, like how do I tell the parents? I have to be really careful. So I
of
was like,
course.
I set up a meeting with the parents and said, um, don't hear me wrong. Like this is just, I'm just trying to be honest here, and I need you to know what's going on. And I told them like your kid is having suicidal thoughts, and you need to back off a little bit, and give her less pressure. And they just went off on me like, my my kid doesn't have suicidal thoughts. I'm not pressuring her at all. Just went off on me, and like I was trying to help, but I was like, how do I help someone who doesn't want help? Like like, and they don't even realize it. Like I just didn't know what to say after that, because like and then I still had to keep going. I was still coaching her, and she was still having those thoughts, and she was still performing, obviously, like, um, because she was so dominant. Um, but like I couldn't tell the parents. But it was so fragile. Like that relationship and like her mindset was so fragile. Like I had to be so careful around both of them, like parents and her. Um, and it was really hard. And it was a girl, and that's what's also hard about it. Like if it's a dude, like like it would be more like, hey, I think I would find a better way to, at that time when I was younger, actually, I was like, what? How old was I? I was like 30. No, no, 28 actually. I was 28, so I was pretty young, and I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know what to think. But um, and the girl was just like so miserable. And then I had a chance to work with the Korean team in Korea, so I had to leave. Um, but the parents were really, really messing up the kid. Really, like she was really talented, powerful, talented, really nice girl. But sometimes the parents don't know what they're doing to their kids. Like it's just, and like you can't even guide them. So it's
Hmm.
like, what do I do? you know? Yeah. But it was a great lesson. It was a
I mean,
great
that's
lesson.
also a tough spot, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I think the politically correct thing to say is just report him to safe play,
Mm.
right? So, like, and that's because safe play isn't just about the sexual abuse, but there's
Yeah.
there's
Of
other
course.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's one way that we could this is, if people do listen to this,
Hmm.
it's like that's probably like the number one way to go.
Yeah,
Is
because you can't do anything.
correct, correct.
But what are the consequences of that? Like the parents and the kid, like the future of that. I don't know. Being reported to safe. What is it? Safe play.
Safe play,
And
right? So
like the aftermath of that. Like you also have to kind of think about that as well. So I
yes,
hope.
but we currently know what the present is, right?
Yes, that's
So
true.
I mean, like, because at that point, like, if it was me, again, like, I don't have the right to have someone, like, have someone parent, or have a parent the way they parent. I don't have that right. However, like, hey, this is also my court. This is my, this is, I know what I'm talking about here,
Yeah.
and I know the road you're going down is no bueno,
Yeah.
right? So and by doing that, there's also this third party that deals with sports that specializes in this.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kind of let the specialists do the job,
Mm-hmm.
and that's another thing that I do in the academy is, like, I'm out of shape. Like, yes, I used to work out a lot.
Yeah.
If someone asks me about nutrition, I don't know, but I have a nutritionist that you can call,
Yeah.
right? If someone asks about, like, physical fitness, I don't know, but, like, I got a couple different trainers that have a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a la carte. I have a sports psychologist. I have the men's FSU team sports psychologist on deck, or I got a local sports. So, like, I got different referrals that we can hand out.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important that I personally also got to know my weaknesses and what I can and cannot do.
Right. Right.
And this is one field to where, okay, hey, like, my expertise tell me that this is not going well.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of me trying to handle this, I'm going to get a specialist who can.
Yeah.
Because I did the opposite of you. One time I just cursed out the parent. Just straight up. I'm like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, dude, and all that happened was they just stopped coming to me. So,
Yeah.
like I don't think I did anything.
I think it was like a lot of different things. I was just recently married.
Uh-huh.
Like I had a contract with them. I was out of the state. Like I was just like, if I don't have this job, like where am I gonna go? Like I just recently got married. I'm
Gotcha.
not responsible just for myself now. I'm responsible for my wife too. So
Right,
it's
right,
like,
right.
okay, like I have to be careful of that too. And
Yeah.
um, I did try to go the other route. Like I didn't curse them, but like I was loud. Like I was just screaming too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it wasn't working. Nothing was really working.
No,
I
it's
really
yeah,
should
at
have
that
like
point.
reported them. Yeah, actually, like now that I think about it, I should. But at that time, I
Right.
thought the safe play wasn't
Not an
there.
option.
It wasn't
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
it
an
wasn't
option.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, and then
Well, that's the only reason why I said it is like, hey, if someone is listening and this kind of happens to them, like that might be a
the only
viable
way option,
solution.
the best option. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Right. So
yeah,
instead of trying to handle it on your own, like I don't think it's gonna like there's nothing you could do.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's leave the drug part out of it for next session.
Okay.
Is that
So
cool?
like the PEDs and stuff. I mean, are you are you talking about PEDs,
What is that?
like performance enhancement drugs? Or are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. That
Okay.
and the other drugs as well.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. So
Gotcha.
like we'll kind of talk about that as a one topic.
Okay. Cool.
Because like
Cool.
I wanted to ask you if you knew anybody who took drugs or if you've ever taken performance enhancing drugs because you haven't.
I knew people. I personally haven't because
Uh,
because again like it was at the age where I stopped caring whether I won or lost.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
Hmm.
so and yeah, so I was never gonna do that. But I do know people.
I've accidentally taken performance enhancing drugs.
How, bro?
I
Dude,
know,
talk about this.
but it really, yeah, I want to talk about this next time, but like
Okay.
it really works. So like it's really a problem if you do take it,
Uh-huh.
like like for me, I think like hitting wise and playing wise, I never had an issue. For me, I think for me it was just physical, like fitness was the most issue because I was hitting so big, like so hard all the time. Like if my level, like my fitness dropped, like it wasn't effective. Like I
Hmm.
wasn't able to overpower people. So like that was my main thing. So if I could definitely notice the difference when you take it and when you don't. And it was like an accidental thing. It wasn't like, oh, I knew about it so I took it. It was like I took it and then found out that it was we could talk about it next time.
Right.
But
All right,
yeah, yeah.
cool. No, dude, like I train with guys that later on, like in the beginning, I'm like, how is this guy doing this?
Right? Yeah, yeah.
And then later on he gets banned for life, they're like, oh, okay, checks out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. But for the last section, I want to kind of do like which is worse section. So, there's like a couple of questions that I want to do. Is let's start with uh, for you, which is worse? This is an example question, or it could be an actual question, but a pusher that never misses, or a junk baller who changes spin on every shot.
Doesn't matter.
I knew you were gonna say that. I
I mean,
knew you were
Jesus
gonna
Christ.
say that. I knew. No, I'm asking this questions for the viewers because like a lot of these recreational players always like hate certain type of players.
Uh-huh.
But when I saw this, when I was writing this down, I was like, oh man, Sukhwa's gonna be like, I don't care who it is, like you just have to find a way to break them down. I knew.
No, both are easy, bro. Like, for me.
Yeah.
So
It's
like, I
also
mean,
because it's also like when I think about strategy a lot, it's like you need the technique and the shots to be able to
execute, right?
employ a strategy, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Deploy a strategy. And the thing is like the reason why I feel like you were so tactical and you're really good at it is because you had all the shots. You had the
Yeah.
touch. You had all the shots. You could take the ball on the rise. Like you could hit hard. You had the angles. You had the drop shot. You had the volleys. Like you had everything.
Hmm.
So for you, like it was more natural to think in tactical terms.
Dude, the only guy that I didn't like playing
Yeah.
is the guy that had like his like who trained his ass off the court,
Yeah.
got in such good physical shape,
Is that Daniel
and
Yu?
no, actually, yeah, someone like like, and if he goes, and if their tactic is, you know what, I'm just gonna hit 10 balls like this, no matter what, every single point, and you just turn it into more of a physical
Dogfight.
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those are the only guys that like, and if they had the weapons to be able to make that happen, you know what I
Okay.
mean? So, what that means is like no matter how good you are in that game, like I had a good enough serve in the placement to where I could still take control,
Yeah.
right? Like they gotta not care that they're gonna get hit the first three, like they're gonna be in a really bad position and kind of survive that, and then they could so like unless you're that or you have a massive weapon, like if you have like a 140 serve and a
Okay.
massive forehand, right? So like and you just not let me do what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really, it's those two extremes. But
Uh-huh.
anything else of
I
like
think I think when I was thinking about this question, I thought you were gonna say the same thing. So when I see a pusher that never misses, in my mind, what I was thinking exactly what you're thinking. Like someone that does like 10 shots like same in a row, super fit. Like I wasn't thinking like a push. Is it? I think recreational players and junior players there are pushers, but like in
okay,
the
no,
pro,
yes, but I'm talking about someone like an adult, right?
oh
Like
dude,
as
but
in,
Nadal hits so
but
heavy
yeah,
though.
but that's what I mean. Like if you're giving me neutral rally balls, then you're not gonna. So here's what I would do.
I'm talking about like Ferrer, like not Nadal level. Like
Okay, yeah,
Ferrer
but
is like
that's
a
still like
pusher,
he's
I would
still
say.
ripping balls though, right?
He's
Like he's
ripping
not giving.
balls, but like it was constant. Like it's like
Yes, no,
yeah,
that's rough. That's
yeah,
100% rough.
yeah, yeah.
But he's not.
He's
But
not pushing, per se, but like he's
correct
not
because
missing.
pushing implies I have control, and
Uh-huh.
they're willing to
Okay.
like give up control
Right. Right.
to
Right.
just and wait for me to miss, right? So
Right.
versus like a dogfight means like, hey, you take that punch, I'm gonna throw a punch,
That's
you
so
know.
funny how we think. Like I already knew how you were gonna say it. Like because like a pusher's never gonna beat you. I've never like seen you lose to a pusher.
Yeah,
So
it's just not gonna happen.
it's
Yeah,
not gonna happen. Like
yeah.
you've probably seen me lose to a pusher.
I've seen you lose to a lot of pushers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when I was thinking about this question, it was fun, like just to think about it.
Uh-huh.
And junk ballers, I actually don't lose to junk ballers that much. Um, I'm actually pretty good at like focusing on just hitting different type of shots and making it happen. But like what bores me is like a pusher, like just like constantly same ball over and over. But like I could already like when I've seen your matches where you're playing a pusher and you're like it was so funny sometimes because like when someone pushed, like you knew how to beat them, but you
Uh-huh.
push back like on purpose sometimes. Like I'm not gonna miss either. Like what are you
Well,
doing?
no. So what I would do
I've
actually,
seen you
it's
do that
pretty
before.
simple. No, yeah. So not quite like that. So again, I'm really good at targets,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So he's gonna give me control. He's gonna go big target,
yeah,
right? And if I don't have the shot, I'm gonna push back. But I'm purposely not gonna hit a winner.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make you do suicides.
Yeah, yeah,
10, 20 balls. Like I'm gonna go angle, maybe on the rise, open court, and then I might move back and pretend go open court, but go back angle. So I'm just gonna make you move.
yeah.
And let's say I lose that point, I'd be like, "Good job, let's go again." Because
You told me this before.
because after a while, bro, like they're gonna realize that they're running a lot more than me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And so like, and I'm in pretty good shape.
yeah,
So so eventually my goal is to make that pusher go for a winner,
yeah.
and then I play my game.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. That's true. They
So,
like make them play out of their zone, and then
yeah.
you
Yeah.
break them down.
Exactly. And even the
But
shot I can have a winner, I'm like, no, I'll just hit like another angle, make them like I'm just gonna make them run the
yeah,
entire. I'm gonna make them quit.
oh man, I love that because in my book I also said there's a way you play into their strengths, and you're
Mhm.
actually playing into their strength
Right.
because you're like, okay, let's see how good of a pusher you are. Keep running.
Yeah.
You
Keep
know?
running. Yeah. I'll be like, run, bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
So
you
like
gonna
you're
run?
actually playing into their strength, and I
Yeah.
actually have that as a strategy, but like people don't know how to use that sometimes. Like,
Oh, dude. Like, so I'll give you another example. If someone thinks their forehand is a strength,
yeah,
right, then I would start my serve on the forehand
yeah,
side. Right, because then we'll open up the backhand,
exactly.
and then I would use the backhand,
Yeah.
and then instead of hitting a winner, I would force the error on the forehand side.
Yeah,
Right. So and again, like how you do it is different, but
Yeah.
like I would start on the forehand and end on the forehand, because all you're thinking is, hey, like I missed the forehand,
yeah.
right? Like
It breaks
you're
you
not
down.
thinking how I built the point. Like
Yeah.
you're just thinking I'm missing forehands.
Yes.
So over time, you think you don't have your strength, match is over.
Exactly.
Like,
That's why
yeah.
I like to play to their strength, because once you break their strength down, it's very easy to like just crumble, and then you
Yeah.
just win the match so easily.
Yeah.
And I think as a top junior, I think we kind of know that, but like
Hmm.
I think, being a recreational player, like it's tough to kind of know that strategy. And there are actually skill sets that you need to do that too.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need to hit your targets, when
Correct.
you're, yeah, and
Correct.
you need to be fit, because if you're hitting like 10, 20 balls, you're still hitting, you're
Yeah.
in the point, so you still need to be fit. So you do need some skill sets to beat these players. But like a lot of times, like recreational players or even junior players ask how to beat certain type of players,
Hmm.
but we tell them, and it's like, oh, you don't have that skill set yet, so you
Correct.
develop
Like if
that.
you can't hit targets and angles, like my play against the pusher wouldn't work for you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
So like so like then that's out of the picture.
Yeah, yeah,
Conversely, like hey, like if you like if you can't take balls on the rise and take time away, then a certain play might not work for you.
yeah,
Like junk ballers, for example. Like I'm really good in the net, so you're kind of screwed with just with that. Like you can't pass me with junk. So
yeah,
let me back up. There was so back when I was what 12, 13 playing the 14s. So the Jordy Dolberg beat me a few times,
yeah.
right? Because he would drop. I'm from Alaska.
Oh, okay, no, I'm gonna give the viewers some context. Like, Sukhwa never lost. The only person that Sukhwa would lose to was Jordy Dolberg. So now you have it. Now go ahead.
Yeah. So so he would just so I beat him the first time, and
Uh-huh.
then he realized like shit, like I can't play real tennis with this guy. So he would drop shot me,
Yeah.
and then he would lob me, and I would just miss overheads, right? Like, and not even a good lob, just give me a lob, and I would because I'm so he would give me like different types of lobs, but I would just miss overheads because I'm
Mhm.
coming from indoor my whole life, and now like I got to kind of gauge everything from sun and wind and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I lose that first match. I play him again the next month, and it does the same thing, and I lose. I play again the month after that same thing, and my coach and my parents are like, "Why don't you just let the ball drop and hit the ball?" I was like, "No," I'm like, if I can't put away an overhead, why am I playing tennis? So literally, like I think I worked on just like putting away overheads from like like I mean with the footwork and everything. Like, hey, if it's inside the baseline, I'm gonna hit that overhead, And so once I figured it out, we were good.
Yeah.
But like it
I
was so
think, yeah. It's funny because that work ethic, when you have a weakness, you make it into a strength, and then
yeah,
in the match play, you act like it's nothing. I love
yeah,
that
yeah,
feeling. Don't you?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like
yeah,
I know I put the work in, so I
yeah.
know how to hit it. It's not a weakness anymore, and it's a strength. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. And and coming in and learning like even like dude, like that's what I mean. People like shy away from certain things, but like the net game in general, people just don't realize there's a lot more to it than just hitting a ball. So
Hmm.
but yeah, kind of. But after that was done, then the junk ballers never became a problem.
Hmm. Okay. For me, I think I kind of use the same strategy when I'm playing a pusher. I should be using the same strategy actually. Like a lot of times, I actually just push back to a junk baller, and they just kind of self destruct because they try to put more spin and like do more junk, and like they kind of self destruct. So
Dude, with your pace, how can they give like if you just go deep middle? How are they going to give you junk?
no, but like I mean, there are junk ballers that are really good, and I can't hit big, because it's out of my
Oh,
strike zone.
okay, I got you. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you. I got you.
yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
I
but
got
but if I start out the point really well, if it's
you. Yeah,
on my serve, it's much easier. But if it's
yeah,
their serve, it's a lot harder.
yeah.
So
No, I get exactly what you're saying now.
yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. I was visualizing something else completely.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, so what's worse, losing in the first round or losing in the finals?
depends on the tournament.
Yes,
Um, you know,
that's true.
but
But like I mean, let's say it's a fairly big tournament. Let's say super nationals, hard courts. What's worse, first round or finals?
first round for sure.
First round.
Yeah, for sure,
Okay.
for sure.
Because like how okay, when Safin won the U.S. Open,
Hmm.
do you know what he said like after he won on the
No,
podium? He said he was happier getting his first point because getting his first point was so hard. than winning the slam. He said that on the podium.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but for me, like getting that first point was so difficult. Like it was
Dude,
just I don't
yeah.
know. Like it was just I don't know. Did you have any trouble like getting points, the pro points?
Um, I not really.
Yeah,
Not
I
really.
know. Like
Yeah.
I hate it when people say that. Like I know, yeah. You know Hyun Chung.
Yeah.
He like he got his first points with the default.
Oh my God, dude, that's ridiculous, man.
You know Chen T, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like it was a Samsung Challenger, and he
Oh
played
my
like one
God.
point, and he got like 8 points. It was like, oh, I'm ranked now.
That's insane, bro. That's crazy.
And it was a wild card. He got a wild card.
Well, so for me, like I wasn't saying that really because like I got a lot of wild cards when I was young, when I
Uh-huh.
probably shouldn't have gotten it. Like I remember when I was 14, I got a wild card to a futures,
Hmm.
and this is back when you had to win 2 rounds to get a point instead of one.
Hmm.
So I mean, like I remember Marty Fish was playing Malavai Washington first. You know, like I should not be in this tournament. Right?
Wow. Wait,
You know,
what?
so
This is the future?
yeah, this is when I was
Malify
like 14.
Washington's playing future at that time?
Yeah, against Marty Fish first round.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So, I mean, so I had some experience before, like I was actually like ready to, but uh, well, he remembers this, so I could say his name, but like it was Harbor Island. I was like 16 maybe at the
Hmm.
time. Like
Hmm.
again, like I forget my age, but it was 4 rounds in qualifying. I lose either 7-5 or 7-6 in the third set to like the current number 1 or 2 from Stanford.
Hmm.
You know, and then I get in as lucky loser, and then I play Ryan Satchery first round.
Oh, I
And
remember that name.
yeah, and at the time he was number 2 in the NCAA. So I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like I just, like mentally I was like, there's no way I'm going to beat this guy. I think number 1 at the time was James Blake in the NCAA.
Hmm.
So just, and I guess like he just hasn't played on clay court in 4 years, or like he was kind of going through something like mentally.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, like I'm up a set and like 5-2 serving for the match.
Uh-huh.
And then it hits me like I'm gonna win the point,
Uh-huh.
and I typically have a pinpoint serve.
Yeah.
So I toss the ball and my right leg just gets stuck to the ground and it wouldn't move. So I literally tap in the ball, bro, like this, like the serve.
Yeah.
And he dumps it in the net. Dude, I would have 100% lost that like match. Like there's no way I was gonna recover from that if he made that ball. But and then I win my next round. And I think I got to this. I think I run the next 2 rounds or something. I did like I started
Oh, right. I remember. I remember
Yeah.
that. Like, oh, so that was a tournament. That futures
Yeah.
was like when you first got your points.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think I was really shocked because I've been working my whole life to become pro, and you became pro so early, like
Yeah.
winning that point. Yeah. So
Yeah, no, and
I
not only
wasn't
that,
even,
like,
huh?
yeah, not only that, but like the next round I went like 1-1. Like I'm starting to like treat, and so
Yeah.
another phrase I haven't heard in a while.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, exactly. So it wasn't like difficult, but again, and then like really right after that was all the whole mind thing of
Mhm.
like, it wasn't even, again, it was exciting in the beginning, but like I started kind of like battling my demons,
Yeah.
and I essentially lost to my demons.
Man, yeah, it's kind of weird because like we were around so many good coaches, not
Mhm.
not so many good coaches. I should say like famous, renowned coaches,
Yeah.
like that had names. And it's funny how we weren't able to get help. Isn't that kind of weird? Like,
Well, so but again, I think a cultural thing,
uh-huh.
like so for me, like I said, like everything, like I act more mature back then
Mhm.
than I am now. Like
You act more mature?
yeah, like just my presence, like everything was guarded, was calculated. So
Oh,
even
right.
when I'm talking to a coach, I'm not gonna be telling them like all the things that are
Oh,
in
so
my
you didn't
head.
really open up.
Never. That's the main reason that like I imploded, was like I
Mm.
wasn't able to vocalize. Like even to this day, like I honestly have a hard time knowing what I feel until it's like way later.
Mm.
Like I don't, if something happens, like whether it's good or bad, like I'm kind of, again, like I'm a lot of the times indifferent to it because I don't really process emotions that well.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of it I think is from the childhood of just everything's guarded, everything's calculated, like so it's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even if we were around those world renowned coaches, it was all surface level stuff with games, like, oh, how's my forehand
Yeah, yeah,
looking,
yeah.
like what should I do with this? It wasn't about like
But
how
the
do I be a person.
but
You
the
know what I
thing
mean?
is, they can't help you because you're better at it.
And to be fair, dude, there was a point where I lost respect for a lot of coaches because like in my academy at least, because I'm like, dude, like you can't fucking hit a four. Like, what are you trying to tell me to do? So
It's
yeah.
funny. Like now that I think about it, like I think if I had you as a coach or if I had you as a student as a coach, I think you would have done well. Going back and now that I think about it, at that time if I had you as a coach, you right now,
Hmm.
I would have done really well.
Yeah, but
I
that's why
think
we're here now,
it's
right?
not like me myself like coaching my younger self, but I think I've never told someone that, but I think if you, Sukhwa, were to coach me when I was at like 16, 17, I would have done amazing, I think,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I had the shots but I didn't know how to use them.
yeah.
So
Or how to make it fun, right? Like, and how to explain it to you in a way that you would understand,
yeah,
to
yeah,
where it's no longer a task or a chore for you.
yeah,
I would like, yeah.
yeah. That would be amazing because like I just needed to find out how to use my shots. Like basically Jimmy Arias told me how to do it, and he wasn't really telling me how to do it. He was just taking me apart every time we played points, like every time we
Hmm.
played sets. No matter what I threw at him, like he just was able to recover and and beat me all the time, even when he was down. He's like, "Oh, all I
Yeah.
had to do was this. All I had to do was this." Like after I found out this, like that's all I did, and
Uh-huh.
like I found out there's like way more tactical stuff like in tennis than just hitting the ball hard. Like that's all
Yeah.
I had. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
all I had was like hit the best and hit it the hardest and the best shot you can in that situation.
Yeah. Hmm.
Very easy for me. That's how I beat most people because
Hmm.
if your shot quality is there, they're not going to be able to do anything. But the thing
Right.
is, there's a moment where like you're playing people that are faster, stronger, more mature, and then they break you down. And then I think if I had you as a coach and I knew where to hit what and how to deal with different situations, I would have turned pro very early. Like I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I mean, everything from, like, I mean, we could get into this in another video, but like, depending on the score, right?
Hmm.
Like, you should have a different play.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I make this comparison all the time. Like, if you're watching American football, right? Like, hey, if it's first down, I can punt the ball, right?
Hmm.
But it is a play that's available to me,
Yeah.
right? Like, but I wouldn't. Like, if it's fourth down and I have 20 yards to go, like, I can run the ball, right? But I probably wouldn't. So, like, if, for example, like, if like, oh, I just got to run the ball every single time,
Uh-huh.
right? Like it might work in the first down, might work in the second down, but hey, may not be to play in the third and fourth down, right? Like so, or if I just want to like throw Hail Marys all the time, like
Yeah. Uh,
right? So it's depending on really the score and how you play and how you want to play the point. Like the whole point actually would be different
mhm.
depending on how you want to end the point.
Yeah. And
So
I think I misunderstood a lot of the coaches what they had to say. And they're don't get me wrong, like I mean, like they weren't able to say it like in the way that they should have. Like for example, like what you said, like you have to play differently, but it was so vague to me
mhm,
because I'm, like because when I was younger, it's not that I'm not smart or dumb. Like I I wasn't allowed to think on the court. That's the thing. Like I wasn't allowed to think on the court. When I step onto the court, I was like a robot. I had to do things that people told me to do or else it wasn't the right way. So I
mhm.
was never allowed to put my own thoughts into tennis, which is that's where the fun is at.
Yeah,
And I feel like you had so much fun like when you were younger because you had
yeah,
that when you were young.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and the thing is like I missed that and then um yeah, when I was younger, like they would tell me, "Hey, like you have to play every point the same way." And for me, it was like the like strategy wise, like everything the same. It wasn't that. It was like the intensity. You got to play with the same intensity and energy every point. It
Yeah.
wasn't like you had to play the same way the whole time. So it's not that I wasn't smart, but like I wasn't allowed to think. So like I just literally took the word literally. Like it's just
Hmm.
okay, I have to do that, and but now that I know that as a player, like that's what I'm all about now, like how to use certain shots for strategy. It's
Right.
not just to look good or just to have the best shot you can. You know.
I mean, dude, in theory, it's great if you go 100% intensity and 100% energy for the entire match. It's
Yeah.
just impossible to achieve. You know what I
But the
mean?
thing
Like,
is, like, but I've literally heard coaches say you gotta play the same way if you're love 30 down or like love 30 love up. I'm like, okay, that's what I have to do. So I just did it. Like, and sometimes I won because I played fearless. Like I just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah,
it's like a different way of winning because you had your way of winning and I had my way of winning, and it's like very different. And people probably thought like, man, he plays so brain dead, because he just blast balls no matter
no,
what.
that's not true, dude. No, no,
Really?
no. So, like, what I would think about your game is it's unsustainable.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know
That's
what I
what I'm
mean?
saying.
Yeah, so it's literally just like, hey, like if you're on, I'm losing, right? Like, no joke, right? If you're on, I'm losing. But like I'm
But
gonna
there's
like
more
the
chances.
odds of that, yeah,
Yeah,
the odds of that of happening is super super slim
yeah,
because like I'm also not just gonna let you tee off on me,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But conversely, it's just like, hey, like I'll give you a really good example. There was I forget his name. He was number one in New York, and he just hit like every ball hard into the lines.
Oh,
Like
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah,
I forget his name. So
yeah,
I was playing him, and
yeah.
I think it was like 3-all. But
Was it
he's just like
Ryan? Ryan?
I don't know.
No.
I don't remember.
Ah,
I don't
his
remember.
first name's Ryan. I can't remember his last name, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So he was just like, I mean, going for shot. It's close, and I'm literally every time he hit a winner, I'm like, nice shot.
Mhm.
Because I want him to continue going for it because I know, like, hey, that first of all, that's unsustainable, and secondly, what I'm doing is I'm slowly starting to get it like out of his strike zone, a little bit off balance.
Yeah,
And like he's going for winners. Like first it was in the strike zone, now he's like kind of like on the run a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I want him to go for those shots because I'm gonna kind of start increasing the pace a little bit.
yeah.
And once he starts missing, he won one more game. And so from 3-all, like really really close, it became 3-1.
Hmm.
And just because like we know that level's unsustainable
Right.
unless and at the time there was no Djokovic or Nadal that showed us like you could sustain a certain level the whole, like that didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like people still kind of like played
Yeah,
around a
there's
bit
ups and
more.
downs. Yeah,
Yeah. So like how do you minimize that and what to do?
yeah,
But also kids these days see like the Sinners and the Alcaraz as just being like a machine.
yeah,
But like I think the prime version of what you were going for,
yeah,
right, would be like the base game center.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
of just, hey, I'm gonna be a machine.
But
And
that's why
obviously,
like it was so much pressure and
yeah,
you had to be so perfect,
yeah.
and that's a lot of pressure. It's self-causing, self-caused pressure. Like
Yeah.
it breaks you.
But
Yeah,
also as a kid, and what my point was is as a kid, it's impossible. Like, dude, like we're still developing mentally, physically, and to ask yourself to become. If you see Sinner hitting balls when he's 16, it is nowhere close to how he's hitting it now.
yeah.
So when you were 16, they were asking you to hit like Sinner now,
Hmm.
which is literally impossible to achieve.
Hmm.
So your goal is this impossible line that's made up for you. So like you're just doomed to fail.
Yeah, I was freaking good at it though. I was doomed to fail if I met someone like you,
Yeah,
like on the court. But
right.
like most of the time, I had success because I was so good at it at that style.
That's yeah,
Yeah,
dude. It
but
was
you already
nasty.
knew. But that's why, like, if I had you as a coach early on, maybe when I was like 17, 18, I would have turned pro a lot earlier.
Mhm.
Not that I'm saying like I could have done better because I had so many injuries. I think ultimately the reason why I stopped playing and wasn't able to reach, the top level and pro level is because I had so many injuries and
But
I
that's what I'm alluding to. I think a big part of the injuries again, like it is that way. Like I'm trying to achieve this here in
oh
my body and my like I
well
wasn't maybe able to train like that yet.
yeah, yeah, no, it's my knee had nothing to do with actually like tennis.
Mm.
Like it
Okay,
wasn't
gotcha,
tennis formed. So tennis made it worse, but it was almost like a birth defect or something. Like it
Ugh,
was like it was like a rare, very, very rare condition that I
gotcha,
had. So it wasn't like an injury that tennis, caused. It
gotcha.
made it worse, but it wasn't the cause of it.
Ugh,
So basically I had two knee surgeries and it never got better, and that's why I stopped. But it's not because of tennis. Shoulder,
Gotcha.
yes, shoulder it was from tennis, but
Gotcha.
shoulder ended up healing, so that's fine. But yeah, yeah, I think yeah, we should save the drugs for the last or the next talk, and let's bring on Daniel Yu, and some of the and let's bring on Eric too. I don't know what we can talk about Eric with, but
Yeah, whatever, whoever, bro. Let me know. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
we'll bring
let's
some
bring him
people.
on, and maybe Nothing Major podcast like
Mhm.
John Isner and some of those guys. Do you know any of them at all?
I
Like
haven't spoken to
you
I haven't
haven't
spoken to John since,
juniors?
bro. No, 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 no. Like over 10 years at
Oh,
least.
really?
So
Okay.
he and I. So yeah, he and I were doubles partners
Yeah,
in the
let's
gym.
bring on
Yeah.
all the like Asian players first.
Yeah, exactly.
like
All the Asian
like the
crowd.
top.
I'll bring on the
It's funny
bring on the
because
Chris
like when
Kwan.
we were playing, the top five juniors were like top five out of six were Koreans.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was insane. It was insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know how much pressure we all had probably like all being Korean. That's insane.
Dude, I played Junior Davis Cup with Chris Kwan, Robert Yim, and me.
I
You know,
know,
so
and
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like I wanted to be a part of that, but I knew I wasn't at that level. It's like I know Robert was super talented. I knew I couldn't beat you, and Chris Kwan was very similar style to me, but I felt like he had the edge. He played much better against different style of players. I was like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Variety was he's better. Brian Baker was unbeatable for me. He was just like, he never. I couldn't read him at all, like emotion wise too. So like it was really
yeah.
hard for me. But anyways, yeah. Yeah. Thanks for your time, and you got to go to your students and parents and talk to them now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I gotta. There's a bunch of stuff I gotta get ready for the tournament tomorrow, and
Uh,
gotta return some emails and whatnot. But next week I'll be in Miami, so I'll be talking to you from the hotel.
okay. All right. Sounds good. Friday, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right, man. Thank you,
Thanks,
dude.
Sokwa. Thanks,
All right, I'll
guys.
see you, man. Have a
See
good
ya.
weekend.
Yeah. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.